We're going to be adding fractions today. So I know you did this last year, so part of this might be a review for you. So please get out paper, pencil, and follow along. So my very first problem, I have -1/4 plus 6/7. So first step when you're adding fractions is to find a common denominator. So if you forgot, the denominator is the number on the bottom. So I'm looking for a number that 4 and 7 both go into. If you're not sure, your backup plan should be to multiply them together. So 4 times 7 is 28, so I'm going to use 28 as my common denominator. Okay, so I have 28 as my common denominator, and now I need to figure out what my new numerators are going to be. So whatever I did to the bottom to get 28, I have to do the top to get 28. So going from 4 to 28, that's multiplying by 7. So I multiplied this 4 by 7 to get 28. So that means I'm multiplying the top of this fraction by 7. So -1 times 7 is going to be -7. And then to go from 7 to 28, that's times 4. So that means the top I'm multiplying by 4 on that second fraction. So 6 times 4 is 24. And then there's that plus sign in between. Okay, so now think back to the integers we learned about earlier, the adding rules. So on the top I have -7 plus 24. So if you're confident, go for it. If you're not sure, this is kind of like 24 minus 7. So -7 plus 24 is going to give me 17. So 17 over 28, I can't simplify, so that is going to be my final answer. All right, next one. So this next one, I have 3/5 plus -2/3. So I have a 5 and a 3. So common denominator, I'm thinking what 5 and 3 go into. If we're not sure, we can multiply them together. So 15 should be our common denominator. Okay, so 5 to 15 would be times 3. So I'm going to times this one by 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. And then 3 to 15 is times 5. So I'm doing times 5 on top. Okay, so 2 times 5 would give me 10. All right, this fraction here has a negative out front. When you have a negative out front of your fraction, you're going to put it with the top number. So I'm going to put that negative up with my top number so that 10 is going to become negative. You don't want both your top and bottoms to be negative because 2 negatives make a positive. So just keep that negative sign with the top number. Okay? And then I have a plus sign in the middle. All right. So 9 plus -10 is going to give me -1. And then I still have 15 on the bottom. So -1 over 15 is going to be my final answer. I can't simplify that at all. So when you're writing your answer, the negative sign can go either with the top number or out front. So you could also write this as -1 over 15 like that. Either way is fine. Just don't put that negative sign with the bottom number. All right, next one. I have -1/6 plus -14 over 12. Okay, so my denominators are 6 and 12. So I'm thinking of a number that 6 and 12 both go into. So I know that 6 and 12 both go into 12, so that's the number that I'm going to choose. If you weren't sure about that and multiplied 6 times 12 to get 72, you definitely can choose 72 as your denominator. You're just going to have to simplify a lot more at the end. It will work, you will get the right answer, you just have to simplify more at the end. So for 6 and 12, I'm going to choose 12 as my common denominator. Okay, so to go from 6 to 12, that's times 2. So I'm going to have -2 on the top, plus sign in the middle, and then my second fraction is just going to stay the same because going from 12 to 12 is just times 1, so nothing changes there. Okay, so thinking back again to earlier when we were adding integers, so -2 plus -14 is going to give me -16. Okay, so I have -16 over 12. I can definitely simplify this. So I'm going to go to the next line. And I know I can simplify it because right now it's an improper fraction. the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay, so 12 goes into 16 once. So we're gonna have a negative big one, negative one whole number. And then I need to figure out how much I have left over for my new numerator. So 12 goes into 16 one time, and then going from that 12 to 16, there's 4 left over. So this is gonna be a 4. So I can double check my work. 12 times 1 is 12, plus 4 gives me 16, so I know that I did it right. So 12 went into 16 once, and then there was 4 left over to get my new numerator. I can still simplify this because 4 and 12 have a factor that goes into both of them, so I can divide them both by 4. So final answer, I'm going to have negative 1 and 1/3. Okay, this part here I'm just reducing. I found a number that went into both 4 and 12 and divided by it. So I knew 4 went into both of them, so I just divided them both by 4. So now I have my simplest answer. All right, last one. So this one I have 5 plus negative 5/6. So this is a whole number. Anytime you have a whole number, you can put a 1 under it if you're not sure. So I'm going to get my common denominators. So I have 1 and 6, so I'm just going to choose 6 as my common denominator. So my second fraction can just stay the same. And my first one, I'm multiplying by 6. So 5 times 6 is 30. All right, so 30 plus negative 5 is going to give me 25. All right, now I can simplify. So 6 would go into 25 4 times, so big 4. And then there's 1 left over. Okay, so 4 and 1/6. Okay, so with these ones, if you end up with a whole number at the beginning, just put a 1 under it, and then it'll turn into a fraction.